Hello, and welcome to today's edition of Action Choices Live. And I am Sandra, your RDN, where you make the decision to take action regarding your health and your weight loss goals. I give you the best recommendations for you in particular. And so every Tuesday, I have the pleasure of dishing out your weekly dose of nutrition and wellness news for the mind, the body, and your soul. So I hope everybody is having a wonderful week so far. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Those of us who are living in Orlando, I hope you are enjoying this weather. It's not fall like up north, but it is a little cooler for us down here. And so for those who are listening live, I always thank you for tuning in. I see a few people chiming on in, so feel free to say hello to me. I would love to know who is on. And for those who are listening to the replay, I thank you. I thank you. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to listen to me at the end of your day. And so I'm going to pause for just a moment so I can get my windows set up so that when you all are commenting, I am able to comment and I'm able to refer to you as your name. And I love to do that. So I like to make this very interactive. I like for you to chime in. I like for you to participate. The more you give me, the more I'm able to give back. So I love it. I love it. I love it. So I got one more window to set up and then we will rock and roll with this week's topic. Let's see here. So it's a blessing that I get to stream into three windows here. All righty. So again, those of you that are tuning in, please feel free to say hello to me. I would love to see who is on the line. And so we are continuing our theme for the month of November, which is the first part of my second month of my holiday theme, where we're talking about gratitude, we're talking about shopping to your drop, and we're talking about eating on the go. And today specifically, we are talking about how to eat sensibly while we're on the holiday go. So yes, we're still in a pandemic, but not as on lockdown as we was this time last year, right? So people are out more. We're not quite back to where we used to, but people are out more, and so we tend to eat out more during this time of the year. We tend to eat on the go. We tend to just run out of the house, or we think we're going to be gone for a couple hours and we're gone half the day. So how do we take care of those situations? So what is it about the holiday season that makes an already tight schedule even tighter? I mean, we're already crazy throughout the year, right? Is it the anticipation of family coming, maybe? For some people, it's grocery shopping for those holiday favorites. For some people, you eat out more, or we spend more time or money in the grocery stores or in the stores in general. So maybe it's all of the above for some of you, or maybe it's something totally different. But today I'm going to give you 3 easy tips on how you can keep gas in your tank, because that is very important during the hustle and bustle of this month and next month, because we are getting ready for the holiday season, whether it's just your immediate family or people traveling or you traveling. And so just to give a quick introduction of myself, my name is Sandra Goldtree, and I am a registered dietitian, nutritionist, and I am here to help you eat healthier rather than restrict and avoid, help you to think healthier, meaning ditching the all or nothing mindset and to just live healthier so that we can build healthy habits that last a lifetime, that is natural. Okay, nothing forced. And that's pretty much me in a nutshell. And so chime in. I'm going to check really quick to see if I have any messages, anybody who's chimed in. So as you are logging in, because I do see people coming in, just say hello to me. So today we are talking about eating sensibly on the holiday go. So I always open up with a question, right? And you guys have seen my question. More or less. So do you typically eat out more or less during November, December? So what is your track record? What is your track record as far as eating out? Or maybe it's about the same. Maybe it's about the same. So you tell me. Okay. And we can include events. Pre-COVID, we went to a lot of holiday parties, a lot of holiday get-togethers. So you can even include that as eating out, because if you're not eating at home, it's defined as eating out. So let me know if you find yourself eating out more or less or about the same during the holiday season. Okay. And I will look for those comments as we chime in. All righty. So let's talk about, so I had mentioned earlier about, what is it that makes the holidays are even crazier than what our schedule already is. Okay. What is it that really changes? But what does not change during this time of the year is the importance of keeping your body fueled and at its optimal levels, whether that's through nutrition, exercise, sleep, time management. We still need to find a way to balance all of that, even with the hustle and bustle of the holidays. We tend to just kind of let it all go. I know some people, oh, they don't really work out during the holiday because they don't have time. Well, maybe you don't have a time to do an hour, but you can do 20 minutes. You can shorten things up. So there's ways to still keep that balance. Okay. And that's what today is all about, giving you three very simple tips on how to keep gas in your tank so that you can, stay at your optimal levels throughout the hustle and the bustle. Okay. And number one, okay, I think I see a couple comments here. Let's see here. Hey, Lakeisha, eating out more. She eats out more. So I love to see new faces. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. And so, and that's very common because I tend to eat out a little bit more too. I mean, it's very common. You have holiday parties, you have this holiday menu, you have the holiday things that you only can eat at that time of the year. So it's very inevitable that we will eat out a little bit more. I think I saw another comment. Let me switch. I have so many windows, so let me make sure I'm catching comments because I don't want to mix your comments. Okay, I got it. I see it was a one person that made a couple of comments, so no problem. All right, so let's go into our first holiday tip, which is not skipping breakfast. Okay, you don't want to skip breakfast. This is a very common mistake that people make during the holidays, or whether they know that they're going to an event or they know that they're going to be eating a certain way that's not normal later on in the day. They tend to want to save calories. So we want to be careful with that. Okay, we don't want to starve ourselves. You don't want to show up famished, okay? Because you will eat three times as more when you do that. So you really gained a whole lot of calories by doing that. And so those that know me know that I am all about eating breakfast. I promote breakfast all the time, and it really is the most important meal of the day. So the cliche is really, really true. So we've been fasting ideally for at least 7 hours. We need to fuel our bodies. We need to give our bodies real energy, not false energy from caffeine or sugar or anything like that. You still can drink your coffee, but we want to have breakfast with our coffee, okay? And so here is an example of a filling, adequate breakfast. Not the only breakfast, but it will fuel your mind, it will fuel your body, it will fuel you for a productive day and to get you jump started. And so I like to use oatmeal as a good one, okay? Especially this time of the year, it's a little cooler. People tend to want to have a hot cereal. So either a half a cup cooked or a cup cooked of oatmeal. Easy, minute oats. Takes a few minutes to do it in the microwave, just as fast as the packets. And then you can also you can top it with some berries, top it with your favorite fruit. Have some healthy protein, like a large egg or something like that. Something very easy. Also have some milk. Okay, milk is a great protein source, and it also has a lot of vitamins and minerals that helps with our metabolism and it helps get our body going. Okay, so not to be confused with almond milk or other plant-based milks other than soy. But we want to, because only soy and the 1% or low-fat milk or lactose-free milk will give you that protein that I'm speaking of to help make your breakfast a powerhouse breakfast. And then you can either make your oatmeal with the milk or you can drink it on the side. Either way, but it does our body good. So those old commercials are true. So that is one example. And this is an example of clean eating. Okay. When we hear clean eating, we think of restricting, we think of avoiding, we think we got to cut out carbs, we got to cut out this, we got to cut out meat, we got to cut out that. Clean eating is eating food in its natural state. Okay. But we still need to eat around the plate in order to give our bodies everything that we need. And so that right there is one example of a powerhouse breakfast that's packed with nutrients and it's good and it's filling. Okay. It is designed to jumpstart your energy levels, metabolism, and should hold you for 3 to 4 hours. That's the ideal. And for my coffee drinkers, have your coffee with it. Okay. We're not taking away the coffee, but we just want you to not replace your breakfast with coffee. All right. So hopefully you found that helpful. I know I threw a lot of shocking information out there because I know almond milk is very popular, as well as other oat milk. That's another one that's becoming very popular. But unfortunately, they are not true dairy substitutes. Yes, you can drink them, but they're not giving you the same vitamins and minerals and nutrition that dairy does. All right, so let's go in. So let me ask you a question. So how often do you eat breakfast? That's the key. How often? So would you say daily, occasionally, never, which is okay if it's never, weekends only? Sometimes people only eat on weekends because they feel like they don't have enough time during the week. Well, hopefully this segment will get you thinking. You don't have to have this big, elaborate breakfast, okay? There's ways to have it very simple and yet still meet the goal of fueling your body, okay? The key is have some kind of grain, which is a starch, which is a carb, have some kind of lean protein, and have some kind of healthy fat. Have those players, and then you're good to go. You're good to go for the most part. All right. So, tip number 2, pack healthy snacks. Okay. So, arm yourself with success. That's what this is really about. So, when you're out for several hours, prepare, prepare, prepare. So, you don't have to depend on fast food, the convenience store, the free samples, all that stuff. And because you want to prepare yourself so that you don't allow yourself to get too hungry and that you don't have to, like I said, have to make other choices because you have allowed yourself to get too hungry. And a lot of times we have the intentions of thinking that, oh, I'm only going to go out for an hour or two, and then it turns into a half a day. So you always want to have those emergency snacks on deck, like we kind of do with our kids. We want to do the same thing for ourselves. Now let's talk a little bit about snacks. Snacks get a bad rap, right? They tend to have a negative connotation because they are associated with junk food. However, snacks play a very important role in preventing you from getting too hungry. I like to call them as little bridges between meals because if you're not at a point where you can actually sit down and have a meal, a healthy snack, there are such things as healthy snacks, can help you to buy you a couple of hours to where you don't have to allow yourself to get too hungry, because when we get too hungry, that's when we make those decisions that we wouldn't normally make. So, what are some examples of healthy snacks? Granola bars. Not all of them are loaded with excess sugar, so you got to read the label. Nuts, whole grain crackers. You can have the fruit or even the mixed fruit. Some of the bars are very good as long as it's not all protein. As long as it's a mix of your macros, which is your carbs, your proteins, and fats. That's a nice, good option as well, and it's easy. Dried fruits, you can make trail mix with those things. So I personally, if I know that I'm out for a while, pack a cooler, especially if you're by yourself. If you're with a group of people, it's a little difficult, a little challenging to do that. But if you're by yourself, pack a cooler, because then you have more options. You can do yogurt, you can do string cheese, you can do fruit that requires refrigeration, things like that nature. So you want to just arm yourself for success. And so for me, and I know there's many of you out there who have blood pressure issues, who have to make sure that they manage their blood pressure, eating out, honestly, for me, is the last resort, or I have it planned. Like I know I'm going to go out on this day, I'm going to go out on that day, but just on a normal, I know I'm shopping for a long time, blah, blah, blah. I try to not have to go out just because it does affect my blood pressure because I'm very salt sensitive and eating out spikes it up. So those are things to just kind of think about. And then I like to save it for when I'm with my family versus me just kind of getting something on the go because I didn't plan or prepare. So just some little things for food for thought. So my question for you is, yes or no? So do you currently, do you carry snacks with you when you're heading out the door for several hours? How many of you kind of plan for having something on deck while you're out and about? Okay. And if you don't, it's okay. That's what this is all about. That's what this platform is all about, to get you thinking. So kind of think about the last few occasions when you've been out. Did you find yourself kind of, oh man, I've been out too long, I'm starving, I haven't eaten since breakfast, or maybe I didn't have breakfast. So if you find yourself having those type of conversations with yourself, then that is a good candidate to start packing some things with you. Start with things that are non-perishable because it's easy, and then you don't have to worry about it, going bad in a car and things like that. Okay. So hopefully you find that helpful. And so our final tip number 3, pack a healthy meal. Okay, planning is everything. Planning, planning, planning. When you can grab and go and have stuff available to you, you won't allow yourself to get so vulnerable to eat out, or you won't allow yourself to get so vulnerable to succumb to whatever is thrown in your face when you plan. Okay, but when we don't, then we're kind of susceptible. And so my rule of thumb is, if you anticipate being out so long that it's going to cover lunch and dinner, or just 2 meals in general, choose one of those meals to pack, choose one of those meals to eat out, so you can have a balance versus eating out for all meals, okay? Because that's a weight nightmare, a blood pressure nightmare, a blood sugar nightmare, cholesterol nightmare. I mean, it's just a health nightmare if you're constantly eating out over and over. So try to think about, for me, I usually tend to want to eat out at dinner. So I will pack a lunch. Lunch is very easy. You can pack a healthy sandwich and a healthy snack or raw veggies or things like that. You can make an easy, sensible lunch and have it on the go. Dinner, I like to kind of enjoy that out. So that's something to think about. Think about what works best for you. Okay. And when you are dining out and trying to enjoy your dinner, you want to enjoy your dinner, but still think about eating sensible. Okay. And so, but I know a lot of people they opt for the chicken salad or they opt for chicken something. So be careful with the chicken when you're eating out. So those of us, especially with blood pressure issues, but I actually recommend this for anybody. So chicken is actually very, very high in sodium. It's low in fat. That's why we order it, but it's also one of your more higher sodium dishes. So check out the nutrition info and you can see that for yourself. And the famous Chipotle bowl, got to be careful with those too, okay? Because there's certain ingredients that are higher in sodium than others. You just have to be careful. So that's where label reading and really understanding what your restaurant menu is really saying to you is very, very important, okay? And so let me give you some ideas on how to pack some options in a cooler. So you have salads. Okay, you can do salads. There is a way to make a healthy sandwich. There is healthier deli meat out there than what it was when I was growing up. So they do have uncured and less and lower sodium deli meats that are out there. So you can use that as an option. You have your fruit. You have your raw veggies. You have other lean protein like with the tuna and those salmon packets now. So those are non-perishable actually. And then you have whole grain options. You have crackers, you have pita, of course, you have whole grain bread. So there's ways to make it very, very simple, but yet it's still healthy, and it will tide you over until dinner when you can sit down and have that hot meal, or and then you don't have to succumb to eating out, okay, especially to fast food. So that's really what it's all about. I think I see some questions. So when do I plan? Okay, so when I do plan, I leave my snacks. However, I am more productive when I am prepared. And I love, okay, awesome. She loves the bowl. So that's good. And and I'm in the same boat. Sometimes I will have everything packed and leave it right in the refrigerator. If I'm close enough, I'll turn around. But then that's when you kind of have to figure out, okay, well, what choices can I make outside of the household? But repetition, the more you're intentional about it in the beginning, then you'll find yourself, it becomes like a no-brainer. Oh, your bag is like your purse if you're a woman, or a wallet if you're a man. So it becomes that second nature. And I love the Chipotle bowls too, but again, there's certain ingredients with the Chipotle bowl that will send the sodium sky high. And then I also have a easy way that I always like to share with my clients on how you can make your own Chipotle bowl. That's a lot healthier, and you can control what's in it, especially if you have access to a microwave. But if you don't, then that's not the best option if you don't have access to a microwave. All righty. And I was going to ask a question here. So are these 3 tips easy enough for you to add to your daily routine? Okay, so think about it, assess: is it simple, doable, helpful? You don't have to do them all at one time, because if you're not used to doing this, you don't want to just you want to set yourself up for success. So if you're somebody who's not consistent with breakfast, that's where I would start. Start there, because that's how your day begins. Once you get that nailed, then let's talk about the snacks and how much do you find yourself stopping here because you have to grab something to eat because you're not able to make it back home. So then that's when you can tackle the snacks. And so just tackle one at a time, and go from there, instead of feeling like you have to do them all at one time. But definitely, if you're not a consistent breakfast eater 7 days a week, then I definitely recommend starting there. And if you need some tips on how to, what is an easy breakfast, then feel free to DM me and I can help you with that. Not a problem. And so with just a little forethought, at the end of the day, just a little forethought into how your day is coming. We tend to know what we're doing that day. Every now and then things pop up out of the blue that's uncontrollable, but that's not our norm. That's not our norm for most people. So we tend to know what we're going to do and what's coming up. And so when you know that, plan for it. Okay. And that's what's going to help curtail that holiday weight gain. We don't have to gain weight just because it's the holidays. And you don't have to deprive yourself either just because it's the holidays. So learning the tricks on how to gain that balance is very, very, very important. Okay. And so you want to enjoy it. Knowing the tricks will help you to enjoy the holidays. You will feel free knowing that you're eating what you want to eat. You have some foods that are only there at that time of the year. So you should have them. You should enjoy them. Okay. I'm going to talk about that next week with Thanksgiving coming up. And you don't want to feel overwhelmed. You don't want to feel sluggish. And you don't want to come out of this season in January and say, oh my gosh, I gained 20 pounds over the past 4 months. You don't want to have that conversation with yourself. So never lose sight of the matters that matter, which are one, don't forget about you during the holiday season. Just because the holiday season is coming up, still take care of you and enjoy the holidays. And then eat sensibly while you're on the go. And these tips actually apply throughout the year. Okay, we're focused on the holidays now, but these spill over to all times of the year. Okay, and so for those of you who need some meal ideals, okay, because a lot of times people are like, well, I don't know what to eat, and I don't know what to eat at lunch or what to eat at breakfast and things of that nature. So I can give you a little help with that, at least a little start on that, okay? And so download my brand new free guide, okay? And it is designed, it's 3 days actually. It's 3 days of meals. It has a meal prep guide. They're fast, they're easy meals. And it also has an itemized grocery list. So complimentary to you, and it will help you jumpstart your weight loss. It will help you boost your energy levels because it will help you with some breakfast ideals. It'll help you with some lunch ideals, and it will also help you with some dinner ideals. So it's all designed to kind of help you see how eating will using fuel, okay, to keep gas in your tank. Okay, a good way to do that. All righty. And I will look for some questions before I chime off. But I thank you all for tuning in and joining me live for this week's edition of Action Choices Live with Sandra, and I'm your RDN. And next week, we are going to continue our November theme. We're going to focus on Thanksgiving. And yes, you can indulge on Thanksgiving Day. And so I'm going to talk about that because the big, I sleep all day because it's Thanksgiving. I get really tired after eating that meal. So we're going to definitely talk about that because I want you to enjoy your holiday season. I want you to enjoy next week and not feel guilty and not feel like you have to unbutton your pants either at the end of the day. So bye-bye for now. I appreciate everybody who's tuned in with me today, and I will see you next week, and be blessed and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.